The untold story of Andrew Tate, how he built his billion-dollar empire. Love him or hate him, there's one thing you can't deny. Andrew Tate didn't just get rich, he built an empire. But how did a former kickboxing world champion turn himself into one of the most talked about billionaires on the planet? Spoiler alert, it wasn't by playing it safe. In a world where most people trade time for money and hope for a raise once a year, Tate cracked a completely different code. And he did it without relying on luck or inheritance. Today, we're diving into how Andrew Tate actually built his wealth, the controversial yet strategic moves he made, and the mindset shifts that most people never even think about. And no, this isn't a flex fest about Bugattis and cigars. It's about understanding the high system behind the spectacle. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn 5 powerful lessons that just might change your financial destiny. Point 1. He leveraged his first success. Andrew Tate started with fighting. As a 4-time world kickboxing champion, he didn't just win trophies, he won attention. But here's the twist. Fame in sports doesn't always translate to wealth. Tate knew that. So instead of settling for clout, he used his reputation to launch other ventures. Starting with a webcam business that most people judged, but couldn't ignore. Wait, did he really go from roundhouse kicks to webcam clicks? Yep, because money doesn't care about your opinion, it cares about value and demand. The real lesson? He took one win and restacked it into leverage. Most people win once and stop. Tate turned momentum into a machine, and once the cash started flowing, he didn't stash it, he scaled it. Point 2, he built systems, not jobs. Tate didn't just make money, he made systems that made money. While most people chase side hustles that depend on their time, Tate built income funnels, automated businesses, affiliate models, digital courses, and Hustlers University. That's right. While you're trading hours for dollars, he's earning while sleeping, training, or tweeting. If your bank account only grows when you clock in, it's not a business, it's a leash. Tate's empire runs 24/7. Why? Because he scaled his knowledge and influence into repeatable digital systems. But he didn't stop there, because even the best system fails if you don't understand attention. Point 3, he mastered the attention economy. Tate realized early, attention is the new oil, and he mined it like a billionaire. His content, bold, polarizing, aggressive, wasn't random. It was engineered for virality. And once people were watching, he redirected traffic to his businesses. Every podcast, every clip, every top G quote was a marketing funnel. If you're shouting into the void with zero strategy, you're not controversial, you're just broke. Tate didn't just go viral, he turned attention into action. That's the real game. But even with millions of eyes on him, his next move was what truly sealed his empire. Point 4, he weaponized controversy. While others avoid controversy, Tate embraced it, strategically. The bans, the hate, the headlines, he turned them into fuel. Every cancellation was a commercial. Why? Because people love a rebel, and rebels who profit are dangerous. Instead of hiding, he built his own platforms, created his own ecosystems, and monetized independence. Most people get canceled and disappear. Tate got canceled and built a war room. But beneath the bravado lies the real engine behind it all, and it's not what you think. Point 5, he thinks in generational wealth. Tate doesn't play short-term games. He's building your legacy wealth through real estate, private investments, intellectual property, and brand power. He's not chasing money. He's building empires that last beyond his lifetime. Most people think in paychecks. Tate thinks in dynasties. You're worried about your weekend plans. He's planning assets that outlive him. Whether you agree with him or not, the financial playbook is clear. Leverage early wins, build systems, capture attention, monetize chaos, think 100 years ahead. Andrew Tate didn't become rich by accident. He made calculated, ruthless, and strategic decisions that 99% of people will never even think to make. You may not agree with everything he says, But if you study what he does, you'll realize he's playing chess while most are playing checkers. Now, if you want to build your own empire, start with this. Click on this next video where I reveal 5 millionaire habits that keep them rich and you broke. Because building wealth doesn't start with money. It starts with a mindset. Be bold, be calculated, be wealth wise.